People think that burnout means that you're tired. But if you're a nurse, you know there's much more to it than that. Hello, welcome. Come on in and do some body doubling with me. Let's do some late night chores just to make sure that we have a better morning. I am really excited. I have been suffering from some burnout for the first time in my life, and I am on my way to coming out of that and starting to feel better and feeling more and more like myself every day. People think that burnout means that you're tired, that you need a nap. But in reality, it's still waking up exhausted. Not in your body, but deeper, somewhere deeper, like down into your soul. It's like when your alarm goes off and you're not thinking I'm tired. You're thinking, I don't know how much more I have to give. Burnout feels like you're tired, exhausted, depleted. I felt absolutely defeated, but still feeling like numb at the same time. It's not that your empathy disappears, it's just self-preservation takes over. After dinner, I did the dishes. That's just what's left that I find in the sink. I have a few pet peeves. I don't like full garbage cans, and I don't like dishes in my sink. So I will wash them as I see them and set them over there to dry, which I probably shouldn't do. I should probably dry them and put them away as well. That's part of doing the dishes, correct? But these are not my dishes. These are someone else's. But it just feels good waking up to a clean kitchen. It feels like the day is just going to be fantastic. Like, the house is clean. With burnout, you show up for everyone else flawlessly. Friends, coworkers, family, patients. But when you come home, you just stare at the dishes in your sink, just staring at them like they're going to speak to you and give you words of wisdom or direction. Burnout feels like brain fog, like that old saying, you have so many tabs open and you don't know where the music's coming from. And none of the tabs will close, no matter how hard you try. So you just surrender and let the music play. You forget words. You forget what you walked into the room for. You forget yourself. As nurses, we're taught to override our own needs. We skip water. We skip food. We skip the bathroom. We skip pain. We skip rest. We learn how to carry emergencies like they're normal. People call us strong, but what we really are is overextended. Burnout doesn't always feel like crying. Sometimes it feels like not crying. Flat, quiet, detached. And you're not sad exactly, just empty. Oh, and the guilt. So much guilt. Because I tell myself other people have it worse. I remind myself of a story or an example. If I'm laying in a hospital bed because my leg hurts and my roommate lost their leg, I feel bad for them. I really and truly do with my whole heart. But my freaking leg still hurts. So much guilt because other people have it worse. Because I'm supposed to be able to handle this. Because I always do. But burnout is not a personal failure. It's what happens when you live and survive in fight or flight for too long. Burnout doesn't heal with rest. No amount of rest. Burnout heals with safety. Burnout heals with compassion. Burnout heals with giving yourself permission to rest and not feel guilty about it. So if this sounds like you're not lazy, you're not broken, you're burnout. Both of these chairs were a Christmas gift. We did have 2 huge couches, and they are downstairs for the rec room. With my recently having spinal surgery and bilateral hip replacement, all within 6 months, my legs were swelling pretty bad, and I'm not released to go back to the gym or do any exercise yet. So I thought a recliner would be nice, make it more open and airy, and it would be easier to be able to kick back and put my feet up so that the swelling could go down and I can heal a little bit faster. I try to keep covers on them because they are brand new. They do get very dirty. I don't know how, so I do have to change them out every other day. I have alternates. You know how like you have your bed sheets and you put one in the wash or one in the dirty clothes and put the other bed sheets on. That's kind of what I do. These blankets with these chairs, you'll see me. So if you're experiencing burnout, you don't need motivation. You need rest. You need healing, peace, comfort, joy, all of those wonderful things. Fighting with Jax while I vacuum, and I vacuum a lot, is probably my least favorite thing that I do every day. It used to be because the vacuum was heavy and it was hard for me to move it around. It's not the case anymore. Now it's because I'm just tired of fighting him with the vacuum. I know a lot of people find it comical. You'll actually see me lose my patience with him, and I never lose my patience. Menopause has me acting in ways that I normally would never act. It's been interesting, and probably half of the reason why I was so burnt out. So a few months ago, right about a month, maybe less, more, I don't know. After my surgeries, I ended up with a blood clot and had to stop the estrogen, and my hormones have been a mess, and I'm back on hormone replacement therapy. Hormones play a big part in your mood and motivation, and they just play such a huge part. I highly recommend finding a doctor who will test your hormones and see what's in balance and what's out of balance, because I honestly feel like there for a while I was a completely different person than I truly am. Oh, there I go, yelling at Jax. Jax is like, "You never yell at me, Mom." She must mean business. Yeah, look at him being a good boy. I sure told him, didn't I? I think the best way to explain burnout to someone who isn't going through it, but maybe you're helping someone go through it, and that's why you're watching this, or you're a nurse and you want to be able to understand and commiserate with your patients better. I think it's important to understand that someone who has burnout just feels like they carried everything for just way too long. They were so brave and took on everything. And maybe they just need someone else to be brave for a little while and lessen the burden on them. So if you or someone you love is experiencing burnout and you're wondering how to help them, whether they're a nurse or not, I think the number one thing that would have helped me when I was experiencing it was just for someone to just believe me. When you're saying I'm at my wit's end, so to speak, I'm just tired, exhausted, I feel defeated. My body aches. I just feel like I can't get ahead. And I felt like I was just gaslit all the time. Like rolling their eyes and fine, I'll do it. And the guilt trips, which I was already feeling so guilty for everything, for not being on top of everything for myself. I let myself down more than anything. I tried not to let other people down and ended up sacrificing my own needs and rest to try to placate others, and that contributed to it, I think, more than anything. But I just needed someone to just say, I believe you. I understand. Well, I've never went through it, or I'm not going through it, so I don't, 100% understand, but I believe you. And I want to help. How can I help? How can I help you get through this? And chances are I would have said, I'm fine. I just need space. I kept just saying, I need space, to myself, of course. And I think that was probably the one thing that helped me the most, was finally having someone who has been through it and understood it and just kind of let me just have space and just survive there for a while. Validation is medicine. Sometimes just validating someone, their pain, their hurt, their fears, just validating yourself. Even that alone, I find personally just validating myself and my own feelings soothes my nervous system and will bring me out of fight or flight most times. Actually, probably every time. And the last thing you want to do is rah, rah, you can do this motivation. And I know that's the one thing most people want to do when they're trying to help someone, when someone is burnt out, because it's hard to pinpoint it. Some people will say, oh, she's just anxious, or oh, she's just depressed. And burnout is a really hard thing for most people to put their finger on and recognize. Burnout doesn't heal because motivation goes up. Burnout heals when expectations come down. Even though I'm doing 100% better than I was a year ago, I still find myself comparing myself now to myself that I was. That song by Toby Keith, I Ain't As Good As I Once Was, it keeps playing in my head over and over and over. And I was convinced if I could stop that, then I could heal the burnout. I had to completely redefine what a successful day looked like for me and be happy with it. Burnout is an injury. It's an energy injury. Encourage rest without earning it. Help them say no. Validate their no. Even if you have to be the bad guy for them, just for a little while. Sometimes love is, I've got this. Go lay down. Offer presence, not solutions. They're probably already emotionally overwhelmed and drained. Just be present with them as they exist. Think of it as a rest stop along a highway. You're not necessarily going back. You're not necessarily going forward to your destination. You're just taking a rest, a respite. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't hand them the map. Let them rest. Burnout lives in the nervous system. Currently, no days of 5 a.m. cold plunges. The podcasters and content creators can keep that one for a bit. Burnout will lie. It will lie to them. It will tell them this is who you are now. Remind them that that's not true. This is just a season of their life. This is just something that they're going through. This is not their identity. And if you can find the time to gently remind them of their strengths, remind them of their humility, remind them of their kindness, remind them of all those amazing things that you love about them. You keep showing up for them. You show up for them with clarity, compassion, and kindness. Strong and steady. Keep showing up for them. If you're watching this because you feel depleted, it's not a failure. So, how do you prevent yourself or encourage someone else to prevent them from becoming burnout again after you've recovered? I think the biggest step is boundaries. The worst thing that you can say to someone when you have trouble setting boundaries is, let me know if there's anything I can do for you. Instead, offer your assistance and your help using boundaries. Let me think of an example. I would be more than happy to talk with you about this and to let you vent and to listen to you. I have 15 minutes. Set a boundary of a time once. I can call you once a day for 15 minutes at 6 p.m. or what time would work good for you. I can help you with one thing today. What's one thing that would be most helpful that I can help with today? You don't need to stay calm and swallow your emotions. Be endlessly patient or have the perfect response. A simple, wow, that sounds really, really rough. I don't have a solution to offer you, but I'm here. Don't let burnout become the normal environment for your relationship with this person or anyone for that matter. What I mean is, you're allowed to breathe, laugh, carry on your routines, even if they can't. Now, this is where people get confused. Empathy is, I see your pain. It's not, I need to feel it with you. This is hard. This is really hard for nurses, especially when you're first starting out. If you think of it like they're wearing a backpack, and inside the backpack contains all their emotional baggage, you can sit beside them. You don't need to carry their bag. You don't need to take stuff out of their bag and put it in your backpack. Their backpack is theirs. You can sit with them, but they hold the backpack. It's very important when you're a caregiver, a nurse, a mom, in any type of a relationship where one person is burnout and the other is kind of in that caregiver role, trying to help them. These relationships will crumble if boundaries aren't set. It's okay to take a step back. It's okay to tell them, look, I'm getting overwhelmed too. Can we take a pause? I care about you too much to pretend like I have endless capacity for this. I need to take a breath. It's perfectly acceptable and okay to say this. It's a boundary. And these healthy limits prevents resentment. If you are a nurse, or anyone for that matter, who's experienced burnout and have any tips or tricks to offer, your comments and guidance is greatly appreciated. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.